We're good to go.
We're good. Okay, which one am I looking at? Okay, 1, 2. Hi guys, welcome to Chat and Chill podcast, where we are having conversations which are impacting the young people's lives, where we are here to inspire, connect, and reflect. And today on the show, we are having Aaron Mangoshi, who is the Secretary General for AIDHIL Foundation, and he's one of the young people that I know who is very much actively involved in issues to do with development for the young people. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, leadership.
Yeah, thank you very much. You're welcome. Dude, so recently there was National Youth Endeavor, and I saw you were part of the people that went there to represent the province. Tell us about the experience.
Wow, thank you. The experience was amazing in a manner that at least we are privileged to be part of the national youth engagement, of which that program is always called by the president. Though there were notable factors of which we didn't find appeasing as a province, as
Yeah.
Western province, that we were not given time to speak, even when we had raised our hands to contribute to the national engagement.
Yeah, so that setup, I was looking at it also from the point whereby I think it gets so crowded, it turns into a show. Because I even see some artists performing there, so I was thinking, is it just a show for the young people where they bring young people to get entertained, or there is really something very productive going on?
Initially, from its core, it is a platform that enables the young people to contribute academically, intellectually, in a way they feel the country can be governed, and in providing maybe solutions to immediate problems that are existing within our societies. No wonder when
Yeah,
you look at that program, it has to do with all the youths that come from all the corners of this country.
yeah. I think
Mm.
it's a good initiative, but do you think it is effective? Because ish, it gets too crowded.
In its current form,
Yeah.
it's not effective
Okay.
because usually the issues that get to be discussed there are never practical.
They never practice.
But the idea is good.
Okay.
Mm, the
Uh,
idea is good.
and then the other thing is, I was thinking maybe like, could we be having provincial endeavors? Because I don't think I've heard of that. I've only heard of one which was for adolescents, and it was for healthy only. So I was thinking, is there any arrangement like that, or we are
Check.
not just so involved into it?
Since we are talking about it,
Yeah.
deliberately, I think going forward we can have such something like that if
Mm.
only we are serious about it. But looking at the level of the way things are being done in terms of our leaders,
Yeah.
I don't see an immediate change to that. But if you and me and other youths come together, we can definitely have it.
Yeah, and talking about the young people, man, like recently I was invited to a radio station, and I think one of the things we were talking about, we were reflecting on the on this year's Youth Day.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we were talking about the theme and what was going on there, and I thought like, was it really things that we do in the country right now? They are more theory things. We don't really do it practically. I was thinking the theme was Zambia seeks to be the change.
Yes.
And then I looked at how the celebrations went. Man, it was chaos. Because even in Mongo, people were complaining to say there were political parties going head to head,
Yes.
fights all over. And then these are the same youths that you are telling to be the change. For some, I don't see that to be a more practical thing. I said to say in this year, let's stop making the young people as the tools for to be used just for voting or for elections. Let them be the actual leaders so that they can be the change.
In the first place, we are grateful to this new studio,
Yeah,
or maybe this great initiative from you, the young people, which is Chat and Chill,
yeah,
of which we get to deliberately discuss on issues concerning our welfare as the young people and how we are doing to so that we can reflect and see where we can change. Honestly, based on experience as you are raising the concerns,
yeah,
I was also there as an organization with my team
yeah,
in this year's Youth Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
What had happened is really something that we condemn and we call for change in the next Youth Day we're
yeah.
going to have, like for next year, so that as we get to have the new Youth Day, we conduct ourselves in a manner that shows that we are not just waiting to be a change, but we are a change.
Where the change, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, sure. Because for me, that's like the most concerning thing, and some of these things I couldn't notice them back then because I always used to feel to say these things of national interest they are for old people, they are for politicians. Me myself, I can just do something on my own. You get.
Yes.
Yeah, and then when I recently I just started to realize to say whatever these guys say or whatever these guys do will affect my life in one way or another.
Okay.
Even if I'm trying to do something on my own privately, but their opinions and their thinking still matters to whatever I would do. And I'm seeing a lot of young people who are really taking these things to say these things are for old people. They are only old people who should focus on governance issues. How are we being led? Are we holding our leaders accountable? And etc. etc. And it's very concerning for young people to be saying something like that because we are really excusing these guys.
Okay, that's a great question and contribution. But first and foremost, it all starts with you and me.
Yeah,
What are we doing?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the first step is the very discussion.
Exactly.
We, the young people in our general populace,
Mm.
what we need is information.
Yeah, sure.
As the Bible says, people suffer and they perish due to
Because of
lack
lack
of
of knowledge. Yeah, yeah,
information. The young people lack information, and
yeah,
these leaders in offices, they're hiding that information. Only use these young people when it's time, maybe for votes, maybe when they want to be considered for an election, it is when they see the importance of the young people. But luckily, to this year's Indaba that we were privileged to attend,
yeah,
we were given in these books.
yeah.
When you look at
National
this
Youth
book,
Policy.
this
Yeah,
is a 2024 National Youth
policy. Yeah,
Policy, meaning this policy is for the young people across
yeah,
the country. Not only me as Mangosh,
yeah,
not only you as Ngenda,
yeah.
but for
Exactly.
the young people.
Yeah,
But now the question is how many people do have access to this information? Very few.
yeah. Exactly. Because it's my first time seeing that
I'm
actually.
even disappointed with the Ministry of Youth and Sport
Uh-huh.
here in Western Province.
Yeah,
From the time we came from the INDA, they haven't even deliberately called for a meeting so that young people can meet and those that went can share.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's a very valid point. I think that's what I was saying. Like we are really excusing these people by not asking what they need to do because it's their duty. They need to do it. It's not like when they do it, they are doing us a favor.
So, my brother, according to this 2024 National Youth Policy,
Yeah,
maybe I just read a bit, you realize that according to the government position,
yeah,
it is stressing much to see a better youth
yeah,
in theory wise,
yeah,
but practically nothing is being seen on the ground. They are busy hiding information, busy writing and involving a youth for young people everywhere,
Yeah.
but in practical, they have left these young people
These
become
young-
junkies.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think maybe I can just read for you
Okay.
on page 1 of this national policy, where the government is giving its position.
Yeah, you can give us a part of that.
Yes. So this is Wariangandu, the Minister of Youth and Sport.
Yeah.
The youth are invaluable and treasured investment. If well positioned, they can drive the development of this country. The Zambian Census Projection Report 2011 to 2035 estimates that 19 to 35 years age group for 2023 to be at 5,369,150 youth out of the total population of 20,122,521. This means that the youth account for 26.7% of the total population. Okay?
Yeah.
So what we are trying to say is that uh, the the potential that the youth possess is, however, being hampered by a number of challenges such as high unemployment levels, inadequate skills, drug, alcohol, and substance abuse, limited access to factors of production. So government has got information on how to deal with the young people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you try to make deliberate follow-ups in these offices on how young people can acquire maybe loans, on how people can acquire maybe sponsorship, you
Yeah.
get stories as if someone is playing on your mind. That is the more reason why you see young people becoming
Yeah, yeah.
becoming junkies.
Yeah, I think you can also show the book to the camera. So
Okay,
that
this
they
is the National Health Policy 2024, which contains information for the young
Yeah.
people.
I'm sure most of the young people, this will be like their first place they will see the book on. This will be on this platform.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this book is even something that is signed by the PS Chileshakangwa and Pilato.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a national document
Yeah.
to run up to 2028.
Up to 2028.
Yes.
And some of us, as the young people, don't even know what's in there.
It's unfortunate,
Yeah,
but
it's
I think
very
it's high
unfortunate.
time now that you have access to it,
Yeah.
and you will try to come up with platforms on how we can share this information. All
Yeah.
we just need is to work together as young people and solicit for support from these our leaders, because in the first place, these people, it is us, their bosses,
Yeah.
who elected them through our votes.
Yeah, exactly.
So when we work as a team, I think we can achieve results, Mr. Ngenda.
Yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to ask was AIDHIL. I'm sure some people are hearing it for the first time.
That's
They
right.
would want to know what do you do as AIDHIL?
Okay, that's a great question.
Yeah.
AIDHIL Youth Foundation is an organization that has come up to improve the welfare of the young people in coming up with the, um, oneliness strategy to
Yeah.
combat the problems that are existing among us, so that we can work as a team. And then we are also trying to focus on job creation, such as maybe skills development.
Yeah.
We are also trying to respond to the climate challenges, such as coming up with a team that is called Green Zambia
Okay.
within our organization,
Yeah.
and advocacy, of course, identifying challenges and then confront the people responsible, so that we can work together as a team and see to it that the solutions are provided.
Yeah. And then the other thing I've heard you're talking about advocacy. So when it comes to advocacy, I see a lot of people like does it only go through does one have to go through an organization for them to, let's say, access these public offices like the minister's office or the member of parliament's office? Like how hard is it for an ordinary youth who is not part of any organization to be able to go into these offices and try to achieve what you're achieving as a leader?
According to the reports that we get and complaints from the young people, it is hard.
Yeah.
Not because of the minister, the DC, or the mayor, but
Yeah.
because of the people that serve them in the name of the secretary.
Okay.
They download,
In the name of the secretary.
yes, these secretaries to these people.
Yeah.
They download the people that seek to see their leaders.
Yeah.
For when you get to see these leaders, they'll always tell you, like the PS, um, they always tell you that these are your officers, you are free to come in.
Yeah.
But now there are these people that behave like a cell membrane, these secretaries. When you want to see your leader, they'll hide them,
Yeah.
but meanwhile they are there to say you need to have an appointment. And many of the times we have heard from our Mongo mayor
Yeah.
saying that for him, when you want to see him, and I think it's something that you should do,
Yeah.
take
He
all
would try to
serious.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has always assured the public and the young people specifically that for him, we don't need to have an appointment to see him, provided he's there. You are free
Okay.
to see him. But these secretaries, they want
Yeah.
to create unnecessary barriers.
Yeah. So it is very hard for an
It,
ordinary
it's
young
hard because
person
of
to do that.
the
The
behavior that
behavior
we
that
see
is there.
from these people that are on the reception. But for them,
Mm.
when you meet them, they're open people.
But and they supposed to like give a word to their people, because I mean, like, your secretary is your secretary. She does what you tell her to do.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it is just the culture that has been existing for quite
It's a
some
system.
time, whereby us being losses,
Yeah.
we are accustomed to too much tradition.
Okay.
Mwaka shanga wationa chwao. We have too much respect.
Yeah.
As a result, we end up compromising our
Alright.
rights.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
try to promote people being disrespectful, but too much church and too much tradition
Yeah.
results in us being suppressed.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's very sad.
Mm.
That's very sad, because I was looking at it from another angle, whereby there was a time where there was, I don't know if you remember, there were a lot of young people who posed themselves as junkies,
Yes,
were like terrorizing Mongo, and let me say the whole of Western Province.
that's true.
And the response from the leaders was, I don't think it was so good.
Okay,
Yeah, it lacked that sense of urgency, and also it lacked that sense of care. It's like these people, they would come in, and then when you vote, the moment you have just voted for them, they cease to be the people you can talk to.
that's true.
Yeah.
And we want to bridge that gap now. This is why we are having this kind of conversation so that we change the narrative. We give hope to our young people
Yeah.
that actually these people in offices, we are their bosses in the first place, because the boss is someone who gives you a job.
Yeah, sure.
Then these people, they are leaders.
Mm-hmm.
In the actual sense, they're also our servants. Just like Jesus used to be a servant.
It's even for the people.
Actually, a leader, what we expect from a leader is a situation whereby it's better you and me when I go to the mayor's office, I'm served with a drink.
Yeah, sure, sure.
It's even better him to be hungry as we eat, because we are the people that elected you.
Yeah.
Than me when I go there, I'm frustrated and wish not to go there. So if I don't visit these public offices,
Yeah.
then where can I be comfortable?
Yeah, and then looking at, let me take you back to the National Youth Indoor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are some of the things that you picked up where you saw other young people from different provinces? You say there were a lot of people from
Yes, all the
different
provinces
provinces.
were
Yeah.
there. All the provinces.
So what are some of the traits, or some of the things that you saw with these young people that made you, maybe the things that you learned from them, and the things that you don't see in young people from Western Province?
The things that we learn from the young people from these other provinces is
Yeah.
courage.
Courage.
They
Yeah.
have courage, and
Courage in terms of.
they know how to express themselves,
Okay.
and they know who they are. They know their rights. They know their power, because when they call you a young person,
Yeah.
it's some kind of like a force. A youth is not a person to play with.
Yeah.
It's some kind of like a force. So these people from these other areas know their potential, they know their ability, and
Yeah.
they're on timing
Yeah.
with their ability. This
Okay.
is the more reason why, if you were watching, you would see if the president
Yeah.
has not mentioned maybe any university, you
Yeah.
do see that university protesting in a timely manner by attracting the attention of the president until the president or the minister mentions that he will visit.
Yeah.
So that's the power you see in the young people. Even the president clearly clarified that this nation is for the young people because we are the people to take over from them.
Yeah, and I think
You get the
is
point?
it that the population for the young people is like the highest?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
so I think again when it comes to the young people of the province, I think we are so depoliticized,
Yes,
so to say. I think other thing that plays a part is education.
oh, that's true.
Yeah, we have all been taught to say we just go to school, you go and get good grades at UNZA, you come back and you're working somewhere in government. And so really what happens in terms of how are the people governing you and how do you hold your leaders accountable is not something that we always put into consideration. Because I really I haven't seen any member of parliament or any leader who has been elected in the province who
Mhm.
has been held accountable like other people do. For example, in Lusaka, I always give people the example of Lusaka. The reason why we keep on hearing Lusaka on national television, you always hear of the member of parliament for Lusaka, the member of parliament for these other districts in the other provinces, is because the young people have taken keen interest in the matters of how they are governed, and that is something which I don't see with our young people here. So as AIDHIL, how do you bring the young people on board? How do you make them aware of their potential? How do you make them aware of what they should do or what they deserve from these people around them?
Okay, that's a great question. Apparently, we are working on information coverage.
Okay.
We are trying to bring the young people together
Yeah.
so that we reason together and then find a common ground and then get to have a common understanding
Yeah.
in
Sure.
order for each one of us to realize their potential. It is just about information. The young people are lacking information. We share on our Facebook page. We have got a page which is called the AIDHIL Foundation where we
Yeah.
share our activities. You know, we learn through many means always,
Yeah.
guided, unguided. So by posting, those that are interested get to inbox. How do I become a member of this? I see the way you guys behave. We behave responsibly within the legal framework. You are
Yeah.
never in wrangles with the law. We like your lifestyle. How do you like the way you've engaged us as a chat and chill?
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm sure in the first place I'd mentioned that you see what we do and you realize that
Yeah. We
we
can
might
get
mean
you
well
on
to
point. Yeah.
society. So it is based on what we do, and
Yeah.
we also find time to talk to the young people. Of course, not everyone because our capacity at the moment it is too limited, but we
Okay.
are trying to make the right efforts to reach to a number of young people so that young people can be fed with information that will build them and make them realize that they are a key to the
Yeah.
national development and the welfare of this country. And actually, when we had attended the interview, the president said that in relation with the current drought situation,
Yeah.
the young people are people that should actually solve that situation.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. So I think coming back again to your question where you had said uh, who are the majority in the
Yeah.
country,
Yeah.
I think according to the 2024 National Health Policy, there's this information that is from the 2021 general election.
Yeah.
The 2021 general elections saw a high turnout among youth voters, with the Election Commission of Zambia estimating that over 50% of the total voters were below the age of 35. So a youth is someone who is in between 19 to
To
35.
35. Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
50% of us, that number,
Yeah.
it is
50
us, the young
plus.
people.
Yeah.
So if we don't vote, if we don't participate, no one can get 50 plus 1. So
Yeah.
power is within us.
Yeah. I think
And we
it's
deserve to be treated well,
yeah.
we deserve to be respected. And this is the information
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
people need to have. If we were 1,000 of us, I think a lot of things would achieve them by force.
Yeah, I think it's also enlightening to hear stuff like that, because in this time and era, there's a lot of things that we are seeing. Like, let's say for example, there was this issue of uh, the Ministry of Information.
Yes.
They were trying to regulate podcasts. They wanted to regulate people going on
Yeah.
Facebook Live. If you were to go live on Facebook, you needed a license.
Okay.
And if let's say we had people who understood these things, if we had young people in some of those offices, or if we had young people as consultants in such kind of scenarios, it was something which wasn't going to be making noise online, and it was something which the ministry wasn't going to try and do. Yeah, because, well, of course, at last they changed, but that's the first information they came up with, to say you need to be regulated. So now the question was, how are you going to regulate someone who is shooting a video in Canada, which is to be watched in Zambia? You understand?
Yes.
So if we had the young people involved in some of these areas who could understand the dynamics and the algorithms of how things work at this time, it was going to be something which makes sense in how we do things now as a country. There was a quote by Malema which I listened to yesterday.
Yes.
He talked about, we have leaders in Africa who are so old that they are not here to serve the people, but they are here to serve themselves for a pension. They are
Yes.
saving their pension instead of their community. Because they can't really make a plan. Someone who is 75 years can make a plan for you to say, in 30 years I want Ngenda to be like this. He won't be there, but I'll be there. So if I make the decision to say, let me do this so that in 30 years I'll be there, even the commitment is different.
That's true.
Yeah, so when we advocate for young people to participate in these things, it's something which us as young people should take serious. And organizations like yours are I think they are very good. They are, they are for that cause, I think.
That's encouraging.
Yeah,
That's very encouraging. And then we have a lot of things actually to talk as young people. There is also, again, according to this book, this is it's our policy as
yeah,
young
yeah.
people. No wonder
It's for the young people.
I'm always referring to it. According to page 21, which is in 2, 2.11,
Yeah,
youth for transformation, transformative economy and leadership.
yeah,
So they're saying the youth of Zambia form the backbone of the labor force that is needed to develop the country. How are
yeah.
you getting that?
So the young people, they make the
They're the
backbone
labor
of
force
they are the labor force. Yeah, yeah. So we are the ones who are,
running the country.
yeah,
Maybe I repeat, maybe you didn't hear me right.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
I've been
I get you.
misquoted by the
Yeah,
youth. The youth of Zambia form the backbone of the labor force that is needed to develop the country.
yeah,
For the country to actualize the development, its citizens need to have a positive attitude and good values that are passed on from the immediate environment a person a person is exposed to.
yeah,
Mm. So that's the thing.
yeah.
We are the labor force.
Yeah,
We are
that
the
that makes
majority.
sense. We are the majority, and we are the people who are working. When you go on the roads, these big roads being constructed and everything, etc., you find it's the young people who are there. So we are the ones building the economy, and I think we have been building the economy and we have been building the country from in the background,
Yes.
such that we are not in the picture. You understand? We are only there to follow orders. So in short,
Yes, it is because we don't know what we are and what we can do. But I think it's high time.
yeah,
The change is coming because you, me, and others have started realizing now that we can make a difference.
yeah. And then I wanted to ask you on something again, as a youth leader, when we are looking at the youth representative in the parliament. are we satisfied with the number of young people that we have in parliament, or we still have a lot of work to do?
Do you even have a young person in parliament?
Yeah, they say we have.
Do they even look young? For me, I would say we don't have a young person because a young person should look young.
The young person should
Me,
look
I
young. Yeah,
just
yeah.
saw mostly the people that I see
Yeah.
are elderly people.
Yeah, I think in Zambia I think the members of parliament are so old that the people that they are considering to be young people are people who are in their 40s, 45 plus. They are the ones who they are considering as young people.
They are delaying the development of this country because if youths are motivated,
Yeah,
we have the magical power to bring about positive change.
yeah.
Even the Bible says, I love referring to the Bible because Zambia
It
is a
is a
Christian
Christian
nation.
nation. Yeah,
And without the Bible, then it's quite difficult
yeah,
to
sure.
have advanced and reliable information.
Uh-huh.
Because as Christians, we believe that what is written in the Bible is true.
Yeah,
Then it says that as time goes on, actually, young people have much knowledge.
yeah, yeah,
In this era of technology, we understand the technology better.
yeah,
We are researching much, so we have information.
yeah. Very much.
We have information.
Yeah. So you're not satisfied with the youth representation in
Not at all.
the
Need to go for change. If the young people realized their potential,
yeah.
a number of young people would be the young people because we are the majority, 50% of being the young
Yeah,
people.
that's a lot. That's like
So it only means that it is us, the young people, who don't support the fellow young people,
yeah, yeah.
according
So
to that 2021 election report,
so we are not there for each other. We
of
can't
which
work together in short.
we should change the narrative now because it serves better when we work together. United we stand,
Yeah,
divided
yeah,
we
yeah.
fall.
Should divide it before sure.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was asking that question because there's a post that I saw, and there's this member of parliament that people like to refer to as the future.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I can mention his name, Munia Zulu.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, Honorable Munia Zulu.
Yes.
They refer to him as the future. And he has been recently found in a number of scandals at the
The
house.
parliament. Okay.
Yeah, where he has been sent out, he has been suspended.
Yes.
Sometimes just because
It's young.
he dressed wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, he would come up in a wrong attire and then they would chase him. Or sometimes he would say something and then he will refuse to
To comply with
yeah
the.
to to render an apology when told to do so.
Okay.
And someone mentioned on the comment section saying that if this is the kind of young people that we are saying the representative in the parliament, then it doesn't serve us well as the young people. Because as a member of parliament, you're being paid to sit in that house,
To represent your
debate
concern.
issues, don't be controversial in that house,
Mm.
lay everything that your people need, lay them down in a very proper manner. So when we are looking at politics like that in Zambia, because I see a lot of petty politics
Okay.
where
Yes.
people would do something just because it will attract a lot of reactions, whether it's people laughing at it or people crying at it. Yeah, so such politics, how does it serve the country, and in what direction does it lead us as the young people of the country?
Of course, since that is coming from public judgment,
Yeah,
that such behaviors are not accepted and not allowed actually in Zambia. The young people who aspire for positions to be parliamentarians or any form of leadership should always conduct themselves in a manner they don't misrepresent the general youth population.
yeah,
In as much, just like we are doing, we should always stick to the principles of the land,
yeah,
to the existing laws, so that we don't clash with each other like the police or the systems.
yeah, sure.
We have to know to say Zambia is a democratic state,
Mm,
but there are also laws or rules that we follow.
yeah,
Yes. So, given that a youth aspires for a certain political position or any position at any given place,
Yeah,
Leadership will start with discipline. Discipline requires you to be compliant at some extent. So
exactly.
compliance is a must in us, the young people, and that's what we are here for as an organization,
Yeah,
to preach to the young people that they should always choose to be responsible people.
yeah, and the other thing is, I'll keep referring to Facebook because that's where most of the young people
Issues are,
are.
yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
and one thing that I've noticed is in terms of things to do with leadership,
Mm,
we would always gravitate to those things which are they're not necessary, but they are just funny.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh
it would
yeah.
be funny to comment on such a thing. Let me just comment. It would be funny to participate in such an issue, even though it's a serious issue. But it would be funny. Let me just. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll take an example of the current situation that we have with the load shedding.
Mm-hmm.
You will find to say people are using it as just a mean of creating memes.
Yes,
You understand? They are not really looking at it from like
it's a
what is happening. Yeah,
challenge.
it's a challenge. What is happening in the country? What is being affected? Are we going to grow like this, or what are the solutions? Isn't that concerning from the young people? And how do you advise young people to just change and try to look at things in a way that they should be looked at?
Okay, that's great. I think my advice to the young people on behalf of the organization, young people should be serious
Yeah,
with their life. That's very serious.
yeah,
Like the president always says, very important.
very important. Yeah,
Um, in Zambia, there is so much drama,
yeah,
especially here in Western Province.
yeah,
So much drama. Just like you've referred to Facebook, I've also observed that if the president or any other senior government official issues a statement which is very important to the nation,
yeah.
you'd find that it would maybe get 2,000 likes,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a national thing.
Yeah.
But any of these guys who are celebrities just post maybe a naked or just maybe a
A picture in
picture,
a
a fun,
bikini.
fun, something without any real value. It would
Yeah,
go maybe 60,000. So it would be like, these people, how do they value things? So we have too much drama in our country,
yeah,
especially here in the Western Province. We need to change and start focusing on real issues like when we have this situation of load shedding.
yeah,
We should now start solving the problem to
yeah.
say,
Exactly.
okay, how do we respond to this situation that is quite here to stay maybe for about 2, 3 years?
Yeah,
As learned people, I hear that you are the most learned around here. It's now high time we should bring our academic expertise to
yeah,
bring solutions that will at least serve our region as well, maybe across.
yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to ask was, are you happy with the government's solutions to the load shedding? Have you? Is there any alternative that the government have put through to say this is how we are trying to solve the load shedding issue? Because this is a very big problem.
Apparently, I haven't seen any solution.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm not aware. I need to research. And secondly, I'm not happy with the way the government is approaching the load
yeah,
shedding situation, because load shedding is like part of capital
mm,
to our nation. You know, a lot of businesses depend on power. Now, the
yeah.
issue
In
of
this day and
you
era,
cutting power 3, 4 hours, 8 hours, you know, those hours you're disturbing people. You are simply promoting people to be junkies. You are simply promoting people to be idle.
yeah, yeah.
The Bible says a dormant mind is the devil's
Devil's
what
workshop. Yeah,
playground.
yeah, yeah.
Let's assume I'm running a workshop, which involves me to,
To use
to
electricity.
use electricity, like maybe metal fabrication,
Yeah,
or I own a barber shop. Without power, it would mean that I will not work. I'll just be home.
yeah,
So if
exactly.
I'm just home, what can I do? I'll think, oh, now I can steal from my neighbor because I'm not working.
Yeah, and I think the reason why I brought this up is because I think I've seen even from the previous government when it comes to the issue of load shedding, we have never really had a task force or a group of these people sit down and discuss on the solution to this load shedding.
Okay,
Yeah, and it's always we are always blaming. No, there's no rain this time. There's no rain. But ain't
that's
we
lack of
learning from that?
seriousness.
Yeah, ain't we learning? Like
That's lack of seriousness.
from let's say for example from 2010, it has been like there's no water, there's no water. So in 2010, if we had people who thought to say there's no water right now,
Mm.
let's find an alternative on what to do if in future we are experienced with something like this. And that's something which really bothers me to some point. Like, are they doing this deliberately?
In the first place, as a nation, we always have graduates, right?
Yeah,
We have people that have done electrical engineering, people that have got masters, PhDs. Those are the people that should bring solutions because, I mean, the academic should add value.
yeah, exactly.
Then the other thing is, I almost loved what the previous government almost introduced
Yeah,
as a solution to this load shedding by engaging Russia
yeah.
to set up a nuclear plant in Chongo. I don't know if you're aware of that
Oh, yeah,
program.
yeah. I heard of that.
When you
Has
look
that
at
issue died out?
it, seems so because no one talks about it. So I think it can make sense if we can go back to that solution. It can save us because even when you look at Europe and these Western countries,
Yeah,
these advanced superpowers or let's say first countries, they're relying on nuclear
yeah, exactly.
power plants
Yeah, and we're the
to
only
power
ones.
their communities and they depend on nuclear power.
Yeah,
So even us here, it can be a good idea, other than depending on the rain, other than depending on the rains, because we're not in charge of the rains.
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's always my
There
concern.
is no guarantee that next year
It
the
will
rains will be
rain.
okay. So it
Yeah.
means Zambia will be a dark mode nation. Yeah. Zambia will always be dark and to be
Yeah,
worse.
we'll be in dark mode.
Mm. So if we don't, instead of us being the change at 60,
Yeah.
we are not being the change at
Mm-mm.
60.
Yeah. What will be the
We are
change will
going
be
backwards, not forward.
exactly.
So I believe in the new Dawn government. The president is very intelligent and he has the
Okay.
best team.
Yeah.
We expect much from them. Even the Bible says that to whom much is given, much is
Much is
expected. We believe they can do better.
yeah, let's hope so, man.
With the
Because
support from these experts,
yeah,
they
because
can do
this
better.
this load shedding thing is yeah, it's really killing a lot of businesses. And as someone who works with electricity, like I can't do anything without electricity. It really affects even the way you do work.
That's true.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, even your paycheck reduces. Yeah.
People have been penalized, especially at Pakra,
Yeah.
ZRI, where you need to make payments online.
Yeah. Exactly.
If I even hear even contractors get affected to bid for contracts online if there's no power, especially if it's like on a due date.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
lot of things, even government itself, it loses a lot of revenue and money
Yeah.
in terms of power shortages.
Yeah.
Uh, you need most of due to the fact that we are now going digital, there
Yeah.
is no way we can achieve it when we don't have power. Otherwise, the new Dawn government should do more other than just giving excuses to this
Yeah.
situation.
Exactly.
Just as it has done with the free education, we believe they can do better even with the power issue.
With electricity.
If they wish to do so, because they are competent to do so.
Anyway, thank you very much, Mr. Aaron,
You are most
for
welcome.
allowing us this opportunity to talk to you today. And it has been a great conversation. And I'm hoping for more like conversations like this with you and your organization in the coming times.
That's great, and I'm also grateful on behalf of the organization for this great invite from the young people.
Yeah,
We'll work together, chat and chill.
certain chill. Connect,
Uh,
reflect, and inspire.
Very
So,
important to work together
yeah,
since we have a common goal
yeah, sure.
and we have a huge responsibility, but we believe a difference will be made.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
Also,
Your last words, I would want to hear from you. The last words. What do you have for the young people?
the,
What promises are you making as AIDHIL?
For AIDHIL Foundation, it has got a lot of activities for the young people. We can do better.
Okay.
We just need to work together, bring our ideas together. We don't know it all. We actually know nothing.
Yeah.
But we believe that the young people, those that are being perceived as junkies, for them to be junkies, they should have something in their head that is maybe just undervalued.
Yeah.
So as a result of frustration, maybe hunger and other factors, they tend to be characters that terrorize people. But those people have programs. If well used, I think we can like have a better province. We can have a better Mongo. Maybe among them, the sportsmen.
Yeah.
Among them, there should be people that can maybe become teachers and like. So what we are simply saying is that young people are free to join us as AD Youth Foundation. We are valuable and we are there for the young people. I've also noted that young people get to suffer in terms of recommendations.
Yeah, very
For you to
much.
maybe have an account with any bank, they'll tell you to go and get the recommendation.
Yeah.
When you go to these government offices, they'll tell you, no, we don't do that here. Sometimes we're even a child, but you don't even work anywhere.
Yeah.
So the importance of being part of these organizations is that you get to mix with different people and learn from each other. So as a result, you get to be impacted with knowledge and have a clear understanding of what is expected and what you're supposed to do. Otherwise, I'm grateful for this interview.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
We'll be happy to have you next time.
Sure, Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you very much, guys. That's the end of the episode. Has been your host Ngenda, aka Bills. Remember, drink your water.